How do I, 28 female, tell my partner, 37 male, that I want a divorce when is likely unaware anything is wrong? We've been together for almost 10 years. We met at a church function in a church that strongly encourages people, especially women, to get married as soon as possible and start families right away. This is what happened to us. For years I struggled to convince myself that was what I wanted, but the older I get the more I realize that's not the case at all. I want a lot more out of my life, and it feels like the older I get, the further that possibility slips away from me. When it comes to my relationship, throughout these years my partner has thrived in life, and I have not. I have supported every decision he's made 100% while he has pursued his dreams and his career of choice, putting everything aside to make sure he made it. When it came to what I wanted, I was always met with excuses as to why it couldn't happen. We can't afford that. We spent all our money on his career. The schools for that are nowhere near where we live. We moved states for his career. You wouldn't be good at that anyway. It went on and on. I've felt myself growing more distant from him the longer we are together. We haven't gone on a date in 5 years, and the last time we did we got in a fight during. We've tried gaming together, but he loses interest in a game very quickly if I start playing it as well. We have no hobbies or similar interests, so we rarely talk to each other anymore. The only thing we've done regularly together in the past several years is have sex. The pandemic did not put his career goals on hold. He was able to complete a lot of his required trainings while things were locked down. He is at the point now where he can get hired and hold a job in his desired field. The only problem is, he stopped. He hasn't applied anywhere, and instead demanded I get a job so he could quit the one he was at. I picked up the first thing I could find that could support us on my salary alone plus our savings for a while. It took him 4 months to apply to another job, and it was only because we were almost out of our savings. It wasn't even a job in his desired field. It's like we spent all that time and money for him to give up. I'm exhausted. I feel isolated and alone and betrayed. Every time I try to have conversation with him about the way things are going, he shrugs at me and says, "That's just how life goes." He seems content and happy with where we are at now, and I have never been more miserable. I feel disconnected with him, and the idea of just leaving seems relieving to me. I know I could afford to support myself on my job if it were just me. I know I want a divorce already. I have gone beyond wanting to make things work anymore. I'm tired of putting myself last when the person I put first decided to give up right when everything was coming together. I just don't know how to tell him I want a divorce, because I don't think he has any idea that things are not actually working. Just serve him the divorce papers. He has never treated you well and he never will. If he can't figure out why you're unhappy, that's his own fault. Just tell him what you said here. He's not supportive, he's dismissive. You haven't felt happy in years. Divorce is not a joint decision. You're still living in a shared decisions frame of mind, as if you need him to get why you're leaving him. He doesn't need to get it. You don't need his understanding or support or to be intellectually on board. It's a unilateral decision. There's no way he doesn't think anything is wrong. He's unemployed and no kids? Just pack a bag and walk out the door. Say you're doing laundry while he's busy. Load the car and leave. The sexism in this post has me fuming. And the lack of interest in helping you achieve goals. If you want to save your marriage, consider showing him this post. If you want out, consider seeing a couples therapist that can guide you through an amicable divorce so that he can get the answers he needs and so that you can communicate in healthy ways and maybe remain on talking terms after, especially if you have kids. I'm sorry your dreams have been stepped on over and over. I'd feel invisible and unimportant. He's not treating you like an equal. I hope that moving forward, you can put yourself first in life more and get what you want. Whether that's school or a job or just going to a dance class once a week for fun. My takeaway from this is, don't let a religion force you into marriage when you're still a teenager. It's cult shit. I think you explained it very well in this post. I feel I have a clear idea of why you want to leave. You're still so young, you can train for whatever profession you want and have a career in just a few years. You deserve to feel pride, accomplishment, fulfillment, and you don't seem to have much of that now. If he's unaware anything is wrong, that is the problem. Tell him as much. He married you at 18 when he was 27. That speaks to what he was trying to get out of it. He tried to mold you into an ambitionless supporting cast member. It sounds like he's treating his marriage like a Build-A-Bear workshop so he can get exactly what he wants while what you want has never mattered. It's been actively dismissed for years. You haven't even been allowed to want. If he doesn't get why that's a problem, then he can die confused. Girlfriend in weird denial about her tea drinking. TLDR, girlfriend leaves out cups of tea insisting she'll finish them later but never does and gets irritated when I put the cups back. It's been like this for most of our relationship. She always makes a full cup in the morning, drinks half, and leaves the rest somewhere in the house. I didn't think any of it until I was tidying up one day and she scolded me for throwing away her tea that she was going to finish. It was close to bedtime, way past caffeine time. I tried to tell her that she always left the cups out, but she very firmly insisted that no, she always finishes the tea later. At that time I felt an argument about it would be petty and dropped the subject. But it's been nagging me for months how she can believe it. I even kept watch on the cups for a few weeks and no, she always just leaves them out and never finishes them when she comes home from work. The only time she seemed to acknowledge that something was off was when she came back home from a week abroad to find 4 of the 5 half-empty cups with mold in them, because I had stopped cleaning them up at her request. But the pattern continued and I don't know if bringing it up is one of those petty passive-aggressive arguments that are really about something else. Or if this is some delusion on either of our part that I should be concerned about. Let me see if I understand this correctly. Your girlfriend makes a single cup of tea each day. She drinks about half of that cup of tea, then leaves that cup out. She claims she is going to drink the rest, but never does. She isn't leaving the cup in the same place each day, or you could point out on Tuesday that Monday's cup is right there. You stopped picking up and cleaning her half-filled cups and after 5 days of this she went abroad. You stayed home but did not touch her half-filled cups. By the time she returned, 4 out of 5 of those cups had grown mold. But does she ever clean them up? If you do not touch them and she does not go abroad, what happens? It's weird how so many people seem to skip over that. When you stopped cleaning the cups, they sat out to the point of growing moldy. That's not something to just ignore. Have a conversation about it, especially if moldy cups come up again. That's really gross. Move the cups to one table. Let them accumulate until she has no clean cups. The question is, are you marrying this girl? If it annoys you now, it's gonna annoy you more after years of marriage. Get rid of all cups except one. If she wants more tea, she can either pour out the old tea and wash her cup, or suck on a damp rag. If this is her only flaw, you've got a winner. Yes, it's frustrating and irritating, but this is something you can learn to let go. Let her clean her cups up. Look, when aliens attack, you'll be grateful you had all those cups of water lying around your house. Just remember to swing away. It annoys you, she could easily clean it up. It also grows to leave them there long enough to get moldy. My question is, why does she keep doing this when she know it bothers you? If she is not absent-minded about other aspects of tidying up behind herself, I would say she is doing it on purpose. I don't understand why people are calling you petty. Why should you just ignore something that bothers you? How to get over ex sleeping with others. We broke up last month. We were together for 3 years. I was dealing with depression and couldn't give her the affection she needed. I called her today because I thought I wanted to resolve things, as I've been going to therapy and felt I could do better. She told me since we broke up she has been sleeping around constantly. She uses her TikTok platform as a way to find men to FCK. She heartlessly told me how many she's FCKED, and how good it's been. She's not the person I remember at all. It's extremely saddening. How the FCK can I stop thinking about someone who was close to being my wife 1 month ago become someone getting railed by strangers every day? Updating. Wording above sounds like I broke up with her. She broke up with me as I wasn't giving her enough care, attention. Block her. Delete her number. Everything. Cut communication and work on yourself. She said it to hurt you. Move on. It's just going to take time, it's only been a month, bro. Focus on friends, family, your hobbies, etc. And live your life as best as you can. She said that to get rid of you. Stop contacting her. That's sad. What's her TikTok? Friends and the gym are what saved me. Finding something to keep your mind occupied. Maybe take up a new hobby like fishing for kickboxing. Something to better yourself while forgetting her. Head up, king. You pushed her away, probably broke her heart in the process. Just because you're now feeling better doesn't mean you can walk back in and pick up where you left off. She's sleeping around to get over you and she told you to hurt you. Of course she's no longer the person she once was. She's now a woman scorned. Keep up with the therapy and move on with your life. Consider the relationship a lesson to learn from for future relationships. She's doing you a favor. Now you don't have to wonder. Move on. Every time I eat, my boyfriend makes rude comments about my weight. Me, 20F, and my boyfriend, 21M, have been together for 3 years. When we first met I weighed 130 pounds. And then I started taking birth control, tried 3 different kinds, which of course fluctuated my weight, and I currently weigh 140 pounds. I'm 5 feet 3 inches by the way. This has made me extremely self-conscious about the way I look because this is something I've never dealt with before. My boyfriend has always been overweight, even as a child. And I have never made nasty comments about the way he looks because that doesn't matter to me. This summer he decided to get weight loss surgery, gastric sleeve, in order to lose weight quickly. Since then he's lost about 80 pounds. And ever since then, he has started commenting on my body and the way I look. Usually I eat pretty healthy, and barely even eat, but on occasions I get a sweet tooth and have a craving. He will make snide, sarcastic comments saying, you really shouldn't be eating that. You don't want to gain more weight, do you? Or, you shouldn't eat at this time of day, it's not good for you. And the worst comment of all, slow down on the eating, I've noticed your arms and stomach have gotten bigger. I immediately react and say it's disrespectful and unacceptable behavior to tell me what I can and cannot eat, even when I've stopped fluctuating weight from BC. I don't gain anymore because I've been taking the same because for a while now. Now this would be okay if he was nicer with his words and I was actually concerned about my health, but in this case, I am perfectly healthy. I'm not sure exactly how to stop him from behaving like this, and I don't know how to show him that he can't talk down to me like this. If someone has a clue, let me know. If I was your older brother, I'd tell him to shut his mouth and respect the fact that he's lucky enough to have someone like you in his life. It's not his place to make unwarranted comments about your body, nor your health. It seems a lot more like he's projecting his own insecurities onto you, especially after losing so much weight through surgery, not the absurd amount of efforts others put in if others go that route. Either way, this is toxic behavior, and makes me wonder what is going through his head when he makes these comments. Take care. Where is your self-worth and self-value? You know you deserve better, so time to dumb the one dragging you down and not benefiting you. I hope you find and see your own worth soon. Easy, you throw the whole man away. Nothing justifies this kind of behavior. And just the fact that he's doing it at all screams that he is not worthy of being anything to you. Oh my God, this is so unacceptable. I'm fat and have been my whole life, and literally anyone who would ever make a comment about my body or what I'm eating, my physical activity etc. would be gone from my life so fast, they'd get whiplash. This is not okay, especially, from someone who used to be fat. I'd give him one chance with a serious sit-down talk. I started BC and my body changed. There's nothing I can do about that now, and it's a common side effect of the pills. Also, bodies change as we age, and if I did have a baby in the future, it might change more, again. I am no longer willing to accept these comments about my body or eating habits. If you continue them, then this relationship is over. If you really want to keep the man and think he can be trained out of his rudeness, you're going to have to get forceful about this behavior. Tell him, the next time you make a comment about my body, I will reciprocate with a comment about your body. Then you will understand how hurtful you are being. And follow through. Ask about the extra loose skin from weight loss, and the man boobs, and his fupa, and the stretch marks. I empathize that he has food issues which stem from always being overweight. That doesn't give him any right to project his insecurities and fears onto you. Why would you take anything from a hypocrite to heart? He couldn't keep the weight off naturally, but he has the audacity to criticize you? Make him your ex. I have found that the most fat-phobic people I have ever known are formerly fat people. It's not you, sweetie, he is projecting his issues with food onto you. I would remind him that healthy lifestyle habits are not what made him thin, and if he is the expert in self-control, then why did he need surgery to lose the weight? Why did he weigh so much that he qualified for surgery to begin with if he's such a diet expert? I'm a bitch though, upside down face. If he can't accept you doing simple things like eating, he isn't the one. A person who loves you will want to make sure you're well nourished. Don't let him project his insecurities on you. You deserve better.